Welcome to my next Lost. Season 1 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you aren't caught up to the point where I am, every watching you're watching Lost, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you find if you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And as far as my history with this show, I've said in every Lost video thus far, I've watched the show 3 times. Other than the initial watch when it was actually airing, season 5, I've binged this show. So it didn't really resonate with me. It's one of my favorite shows, but like, there's points of it I remember, and then there's a lot of stuff that I don't remember. So I'm taking my time with it this time, so it all resonates with me. But I'm not the only one that's watching Lost right now. The legendary Crazy Coffee Man is going to be watching Lost for the first time. So join us on the journey, and let's discuss the show in the comments section. Don't give any spoilers other than to the episode that I'm currently reviewing, just because Crazy Coffee Man has yet to watch the entirety of the show. So just keep that in mind. And with all that said, this will be Lost, Season 1, Episode 12. The title of this episode is called Whatever the Case May Be. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. So Kate's climbing trees on the island, or a specific tree, to get food. And Kate's hearing something, so she throws a rock, and it's Sawyer following her, and he's trying to be secret about it. And Sawyer says she shouldn't be out here alone. She says that she can take care of herself, and we all know that Kate certainly can take care of herself. They find a waterfall. In my other recordings of this episode review video, I said water ball, just because I can't talk sometimes, so that's pretty funny, but I didn't this time. Sawyer says asks Kate if she's some no fun, mopey type. And then Kate and Sawyer go for a swim. They didn't go commando, though. They both wore clothes. Sawyer did take his shirt off, but Kate went in her, she had her tank top or whatever was on and bra. And during their swim, when they go underwater, they actually find parts of the aircraft, and they find dead passengers at the bottom of the river. So Sawyer's going to check them out and see what they got on them, because, well, Sawyer wants all the things that he can collect on the island. So Sawyer's got a wallet, and then Sawyer and Kate grab a case that was also down there. It's not actually Kate's case, or that's what she says at least. Something you want to tell me about this suitcase, Freckles? Kate says, take it. Perhaps she listened to one of Jordan tapes. Perhaps she listened to one of Jordan Chase's tapes. Take it! Take it! Of course, Jordan Chase was a character on Dexter Season 5. That Crazy Coffee Man will admire that line. So Jack tells Sayid he needs him to take him back to the French woman Rousseau, Danielle Rousseau. Shannon asks Boone where he's been, and Boone tells Shannon that she's useless. At night, Kate's by the fire, and we see Sawyer walking by with the case. She's focused on that case. Then we have a Kate flashback. Kate's at a bank. People come in to rob the bank. They want the manager to open the money in the cage, or the money cage. Back to current time, Kate sneaks in while Sawyer is sleeping. She tries to grab the case, but Sawyer, I don't know if he was actually asleep, but he catches her. She tells Sawyer to give her the case, and Sawyer says, no. Shannon is sunbathing. Shannon, she's just in another world. She doesn't really think she's trapped on an island. She thinks that, we're just on a reality TV show, and I'm going to look cute, and I'm going to stay tan, and then eventually we're going to get rescued when we're, almost ready to, I think that's Shannon, her mindset on the show. Sayid needs a favor from Shannon. He needs help translating some papers he took from Rousseau, the French woman. She says she can't do it. She barely speaks French. Sawyer's trying to pick the lock on the case. Michael says he can only get that open with impact velocity, because it's a steel Halliburton. Boone brings an axe to Locke and mentions, did anybody see you with it? And he doesn't give a straight answer, and Locke's like, well, did somebody see her or did somebody not? And he's like, no. And he doesn't want anybody else to know what they're doing out there. Because remember, they found something in the island, or, in the jungle of the island. Rose says hello to Charlie, but he's not talking much these days. Rose wants Charlie to help. Charlie feels guilty and helps Rose out. Sawyer's still trying to get that case open. Kate comes and runs off with the case. Sawyer chases her. He tackles Kate down. Sawyer wants her to tell him what is in this case. On one of the good Samaritans at the bank, so we're back to this Kate flashback, thinks he can take one of the bad guys. So he goes after him. The gun slides to Kate, and he says, "Shoot him! Shoot him!" And Kate pretends to struggle. "I don't know how to use a gun." And then one of the other robbers says, "Let's me and you go talk," to Kate. They go in another room. He takes off his ski mask and says, "I don't know how to use a gun." That's classic. And then he starts to kiss Kate. So Kate is in on this robbery. Shannon tells Sayid she can't do this. She doesn't know math. Sayid says, "You worry about the French, I'll worry about the math." So Sayid can calculate all this stuff. He's very smart individual. Obviously, he was on the Iraqi special forces, or whatever the hell it is that he was a part of. So Son's got stuff for headaches, Jax finds out. Kate tells Jack, "You're the only one who knows about me." She tells Jack about the case and says Sawyer has it. She knows where the key is. The marshal has it in his wallet in his back pocket. Kate says guns are in the case, and that's the truth. Guns and ammunition. Jack says, "If you want me to help, we're going to open the case together." Charlie asks Rose why she's smiling, and Charlie says she looks happy. And then Charlie says, "There's no reason to be happy. No one's coming for us." And then Rose says, "Charlie, nobody blames you for what happened to Claire. You did everything you could to do." She says that Charlie should ask for help. Kate wonders why Jack didn't put the marshal with the others when he burned the fuselage. And Jack says, "Because I needed to bury him." Kate is slapped by a robber back at the flashback. So to make it look like he roughed Kate up, he slaps her. I think that was a part of the plan. The bank manager has 3 seconds to give the robber that damn key or he'll off Kate. 1, 2, 3. All right, I'll give it to you. Back on the island, Jack and Kate dig up the marshal. I can't remember the marshal's name. I know him as Ed Olson. I know him from Lost, but Ed Olson on Dexter, I just can't remember his name for some reason. Kate grabs the wallet. Maggots are in his wallet, and she throws it down. So Kate's now afraid of a little bug. And then Jack picks up the wallet, and Kate says the key isn't in there. And Jack knows that Kate grabbed the key. Jack has Kate open her hand, and she has the key in her hand. Shannon's busy translating, so she's not sunbathing anymore. Sayid says it doesn't make any sense. Sayid says this was a mistake. "Yeah, haven't you heard? I'm completely useless," Shannon says. Jack goes to get the case from Sawyer. Jack threatens to not give Sawyer any of his pills anymore from his injury. And Sawyer, because of this, ends up giving Jack the case. Jack goes to Kate and says, "We're going to do this together." And then we go to a flashback. Kate shoots her robber friends. So Kate, while they all organized this, Kate had ulterior motives when it came to this robbery. She wanted what she wanted, and these people that she was doing this robbery with didn't even know her real name. And she demands the key to the safe deposit box. He gives it to her. Jack, back on the island, current time, opens up the case. Money, guns, ammunition, and an envelope that says personal effects. A small airplane is in the envelope. Jack wants to know what it is. Kate says it belonged to the man I killed while crying. Jack puts everything back into the suitcase and walks away. And everybody's moving to a different location on the shore as the shore is getting, the water's coming up on the shore now. Charlie talks to Rose about her husband being in the tail section of the plane. She says, "Yes, but he'll be back." "You think he's still alive?" "Yes." So Rose still believes that her husband is still alive. When we met her husband in the first episode, his name is Bernard. He went to the bathroom and then all hell broke loose in the plane crash, and she believes that Bernard somehow, some way, is still alive. Charlie starts to cry. Rose says she's not the one that can help you, or she's not the one that can help him. And then Rose starts to pray. Shannon tells Saeed the French women loop French lyrics of a song over and over again. And then Shannon sings the song. So what the French woman has in her notes are lyrics of a song, and Shannon's heard these lyrics before as Boone watches and listens from behind. Kate's looking at her toy airplane as the episode ends. So interesting episode, even more craziness with the character of Kate. We get a lot from Rose in this episode, and of course Jack is a focal point with different people. So fun episode. I'm gonna score it an 8.8 out of 10. And then it's the character of the episode's kind of like cheap because the episodes each focus on a certain character or sometimes characters. So my standout characters for this episode that did the best: Kate, Rose, Shannon, Jack, and Sawyer. Anybody else certainly had, people made really quick cameos. Like Hurley had like 10 seconds of screen time. Michael had a little bit of screen time. Locke had a very limited role. Probably the least we've seen Locke on the show, which is upsetting because Locke is easily one of the best characters. I always call him Locke when his name is John, but I'm just so used to saying Locke now. So, so those are my thoughts on this episode of Lost. Since I've said everything that I have to say, now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Lost and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please consider Hulk smashing the like button. Keep in mind, Lost is definitely not the only thing I cover on this channel. If you go to my playlist on the channel, I cover a lot of things. UFC live fight reactions, Walking Dead stuff, Dexter stuff, Big Bang Theory stuff, Shameless stuff, Lucifer stuff, Game of Thrones stuff, Last of Us stuff, a lot of stuff, Stranger Things, Cobra Kai. So I'm sure there's something else that you'll like besides Lost, although Lost is pretty fucking good. Share this video with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Lost, and let us know what you think interact with me and the legendary Crazy Coffee Man, who, remember, is watching the show for the first time. So don't spoil anything that happens after this episode. You can always come to the next episode review. I have a pattern of when I post shows, so it's pretty easy to find where the next Lost review will be. Although UFC fight reactions, sometimes I'll have 5 days worth of those or 4 days worth of those, so just got to know. So after my Lucifer content, Lost content will follow Better Call Saul, and I'm about to finish the first episode of Better Call Saul. I'm halfway through it. I've already seen it, but reviewing it, it's a little bit more longer of a watch, so just keep that in mind. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. Subscribe to the channel. You're watching the video anyway. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDEV TV.